So hello, welcome to the channel. Thanks again for dropping by. If you like the content, if you like what I'm doing, please hit subscribe. Now let's get into this video, okay? So over the weekend, we saw Oleksandr Usyk make his heavyweight debut. Obviously, as I said in my post-fight video, he wasn't in there with much. He wasn't in there with the greatest of opposition. Largely not down to being his fault. Obviously, the Carlos Takam fight, there was injuries, then it was rescheduled, then it didn't happen. So then there was obviously the Tyrone Spong fight, which was the failed VADA test. Having said that, I've seen Tyrone Spong release a statement where he's actually said that, I think was it the second or the third VADA test came back clean. So he's protesting his innocence. Look, I don't know what the hell went on there. I'm going to have to look into that a little bit more before I can say yay or nay. As is so often the case with these tests, some of this is not as clear cut as we think. I don't know what the story is with Tyrone Spong at this stage, but that was who Usyk was meant to fight. And obviously, days, literally, leading up to the fight, that test emerged, and obviously that fight didn't happen. So we were stuck with the Shez Witherspoon fight. We all knew what that was going to be. It was what it was. Shez Witherspoon's actually come out and said that Usyk didn't really have any punching power, that he didn't feel any real thunderous power from Usyk. It was more fatigue on his part. Now, realistically, if you're knowing that you're going to be taken, maybe he didn't. Maybe he just got the call last minute, maybe he wasn't ready. But he definitely looked fatigued in that fight. As I said in my post-fight video, I'm sure seeing someone move around that much must be kind of a head fuck on your mind, so that might fatigue you as well. But he said it was more fatigue that lost him that fight, amongst other things. Obviously, it wasn't just the fatigue, amongst other things, not the punching power. Okay, so Usyk, as we know now, is a heavyweight. Eddie Hearn has come out and said that he will likely challenge for a vacant WBO title next. So it doesn't look likely that he's going to face the winner of Joshua Ruiz. It looks like he's going to fight for a vacant title. As I said, and as Eddie Hearn has said, there's an IBF mandatory due and there's WBO mandatory due. And I think with the IBF, we know how strict they are. With the WBO, they're not as strict, but they're not as bad as WBC and WBA, put it like that. They will enforce their mandatories. So obviously, it's a case of having one or the other. And it looks like Eddie Hearn would probably prefer the IBF route. So it looks like they would put Anthony Joshua in with Kubrat Pulev if he wins. Obviously, I think Eddie Hearn is going to be taking less risk for Anthony Joshua. And I think that for Anthony Joshua to face Kubrat Pulev at this stage in his career, it's not a massive risk, provided he wins. And him facing Usyk, coming off the back of the Ruiz loss, and whether he wins or not, I do not know. I'm just assuming. If he beats Ruiz, if he was to fight Usyk, that might not go well for Anthony Joshua. Personally, I think that might not go well. So Eddie Hearn may want to take the easier option. If Ruiz wins, well, shouldn't he not just vacate? If Al Heyman doesn't regard the WBO as a world title nowadays? Who knows? So it looks likely Usyk may challenge for a vacant title. If Andy Ruiz wins, I would expect him to go down the Wilder route personally, and I would have thought that the sanctioning bodies would allow, an undisputed fight over, mandatory challengers. Who knows? But providing Usyk does fight for a vacant title, okay, he's obviously number one in the ratings for the WBO heavyweight title, as we know. Number two, I'm just going to read through these. Number two is Tyson Fury. Okay. Now, I believe his fight with Tom Schwartz had some minor WBO title on the line. I think it was like it could have been, it was a minor WBO title anyway. There's so many of them, I just don't know which one it was. So, Fury, number two. Okay, well, he's looking likely to go down the Deontay Wilder route, so we'll X out of that. Anthony Joshua, number three. Not going to happen. Okay, so Anthony Joshua is facing Andy Ruiz. Should he lose that, you would imagine he would slip down the ratings anyway, so can't see that happening. Number four is Joseph Parker. So if Usyk was to fight for the vacant title, it would be against the next available contender, which would be Joseph Parker. That's an interesting fight. That to me is a very, very interesting fight. Joseph Parker versus Oleksandr Usyk. I really like that fight. I think that's a very, very intriguing fight. Joseph Parker, Usyk is fast, so is Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker has fast hands, but Usyk has the much quicker feet. It's not even close to foot speed. I think Joseph Parker, depending on how much he weighs, you really see his foot speed deteriorate or get a little bit better. If you watch him against Hughie Fury when he was in the mid 240s, he was plodding all around the ring. Oh, he was slow as anything. While I'm on the subject of WBO, let's look at the ratings. This is the top 15 for WBO. Number 5, Count Alki. Number 6, Tyrone Spine. Then you've got Junior Fa, number 7, no picture. We have Luis Ortiz, number 8. Daniel Dubois, number 9. Interesting. Daniel Dubois in the top 10. Michael Hunter, 10. I think the guy who knocked out Deontay Wilder in the amateurs, Romanov, I think is how you pronounce it, he's number 11. Takam, number 12. Tom Schwartz, there's a fall from grace. He was as high as number 2 or 3, I think, once. There's a fall from grace for you. Cuban heavyweight who I've never heard of. Fire, never heard of him, 13-0. And Ajay Kabayel, 15. That's not, as top 15 go, that's not a bad top 15 to be fair. You know, take Tom Schwartz out of there and then you're good to go. Replace him with someone a little bit better. I was under the impression Dylan White was number 1 or number 2 because I think prior to his fight with Oscar Rivas, he was. I think at least in the top 2. I know he was highly rated by the WBO. In fact, I think that he was complaining that, you know, he fights eliminators, he can't get a title shot. Usyk moves up to heavyweight and he's already number 1. I think the WBO always do that though. They always like rank their champion, pretty much make him mandatory when they move up in weight or if they move down in weight, vice versa. So I think Dylan White is not even in their ratings. As I said, it could be because he's got an interim title with the WBC, or it could be the UCAT situation. I'll let you be the judge of what you think it is. So that is the top 15 WBO. Should Oleksandr Usyk meet the next available challenger, you would imagine, unless Fury would prefer the Usyk fight, you would imagine that it's going to be Joseph Parker. That's, as I said, an intriguing fight. If Joseph Parker faced Oleksandr Usyk, like in the next, say, 6 months, I would pick Usyk to win. I don't think they ever met in the amateurs. I know Usyk was a heavyweight in the amateurs. Joseph Parker was a super heavyweight. I don't think they ever fought in the amateurs. I would be leaning towards, in fact, I would make Usyk, I would say about 70-30 in Usyk's favour. I'd be picking maybe even 80-20. I think Usyk is just at heavyweight. We still need to see him in a real fight. You know, Witherspoon wasn't necessarily a real fight, but I just think that the skill set of Usyk, the hand speed, the movement, I think that he could outbox most of these heavyweights. And I think Joseph Parker, not too dissimilar in terms of height. Obviously, be a weight disparity in Parker's favour. Probably the punching power will go towards Parker. Although I don't think Usyk is as feather-fisted as they're making him out to be. I think he's on his toes a lot. He doesn't tend to, you know, sit with full power on shots. But when he does let them shots go, you don't want to have your chin out in the air. So I think Joseph Parker versus Usyk, that's an interesting fight. Very interesting fight. I think it's an intriguing fight. I wouldn't mind seeing it. I think it would be a great way for Usyk to really stamp his authority in the heavyweight division. And if he picks up a heavyweight title, you know, I mean, I think most people expect Usyk to pick up a version of the heavyweight title sooner or later. And I think him against Parker, very interesting fight. Very interesting fight. So that's my thoughts on this. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like. Leave your thoughts down below. Who do you think Usyk should fight next? Should he go straight into that world title fight if he gets it? Or should he have another kind of in-between fight? First, we say Povetkin. Ain't gonna happen. We've already heard about that fight being mentioned. Usyk says for political reasons, ain't gonna happen. Can't see that fight happening. Who else would you like to see him fight? Let me know down below. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, please hit subscribe. And I'll talk to you after.